Hi everybody, welcome back to Disney 101. Today I'm going to be trying to settle this huge debate that I've been having on my Instagram for a week now. Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween or Christmas movie? Now, I've been asking myself this question ever since I first watched it when I was a kid, but now I feel like it's time to really settle it. If you don't follow my Instagram, it's Disney101_Lauren Lindberg. Go give that a look and be a part of these debates that I have on my Instagram story. But anyways, this debate, a lot of people on the poll, it was 75-25%. So 75%, which is the majority of people, said that this was a Halloween movie. And 25% said it was a Christmas movie. So lots of people out there have different opinions of whether it's a Halloween or Christmas movie. And this video, I'm basically going to tell you what I think. I'll tell you what my personal opinion is, and I'll obviously look at both sides. And then I'm going to actually show you some personal sources from people who directed the film, people who were part of the film, and what they think it is, because I also think that's really important. And just to put it out there, there is no wrong or right answer. This is just basically to show you all the opinions. I haven't shared my opinion yet, so this is kind of what I'm doing. And I want to share some of the opinions of people who are part of the film themselves, just so all of you can kind of see both sides and you can make up your mind on where you want to be on that standpoint. But again, there's no wrong or right answer, so this is just for fun and just to have a quick little debate about an amazing movie that I really love, as you can tell by my shirt. So I personally think Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie. After reading all the reviews from what other people part of the movie said, it definitely changed my mind to think it is a Halloween movie, but I'm going to talk about a few points that I was to support it is a Christmas movie. So basically we start the film in Halloween Town on Halloween night, and Jack's really somber about the fact that every Halloween is just so similar and it gets really boring after a while, and he feels as though he needed to have a purpose. His purpose is lost, he feels like that, and he discovers this beautiful place called Christmas Town that he is so unfamiliar with and so new to, and it makes it so unique in his eyes. And the song What's This was a really good supporting evidence to why I think it's a Christmas movie. And that's because when he talks about all of the fun things, like there's white things in the air, there's the smell of pies, there's smell of pastries, there's mistletoe, people kissing, people decorating the tree, people decorating their houses, and the way he describes all of these things, he makes them sound so beautiful and so unique and different to him, and that's what makes it special, right? And the reason why I think this is a Christmas movie is because when he describes all these things, he makes the audience feel as though it is Christmas, number one, and number two, how amazing Christmas is and all of these beautiful things, and when they all come together, how amazing Christmas is. Because after a while, I think we all hit a point where we think Christmas is stupid, or Christmas is, it's all about greed, it's all about, oh, I want money, I want this, I want that, when we don't really appreciate all the little things that Christmas really brings to us. And he explains that in that song. He explains, the fresh bake of pies make him feel warm and, comforted. And even though he explains how it's unusual because he's from Halloween Town and that's very unusual to feel warm and cozy, but he explains all these things and how they're actually really important and stable into, people's lives. And it's so crazy because the song makes you realize how these little small things, like hanging things on the tree, or hanging up mistletoe, or baking, or being with your family and, singing carols, like all of that is so valuable, and he shares that with this song. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I think it's a Christmas movie, because what he sings and what he says throughout the film about Christmas makes us value and think about Christmas and think about how important it is to family, to, you know, to everything, how valuable Christmas really is and how the time of year is super amazing and you need to appreciate it more. I feel like that's the message that we are getting from the audience. That's the message that we are told. And, you know, when Jack brings them back and they have the town meeting song and he tries to describe all of these amazing things about Christmas, and the Halloween townspeople don't really understand. They're you know, they think it's so amazing because they think, oh, you know, the stocking, does it have a real foot in it? You know, like they're excited about that. And he tries to make them excited about what it really means, you know, what gets put in the stocking and how that's symbolic for something else. Or, you know, the present had the joy of opening a present, not what's actually the present, it's the joy of that. And, you know, when they're making Christmas, that song too, they're making their version of Christmas. And like I said before, like, it's not what's inside of the gift, it's the joy of opening it up and, you know, having fun with that. Like, that's what I feel like is on display with that movie, is when they're making all these toys and all these gifts for the kids, they're not thinking about the gift itself. They're thinking about, oh, you know, like, I put the time and effort to paint this and it took me forever to carve it. That's valuable. That's valuable time. It's love that's being put into that gift. And I might be completely overcomplicating this, but I think that really shows from an audience point of view that Christmas is valuable. I feel like that's what is shown. And that's a huge reason why I think it's a Christmas movie. And the end of the movie, you know, well, not really ends, but, you know, on Christmas Eve night after he's delivered all the toys and he realizes, you know, the Poor Jack song, he really realizes that he messed it up, but he's, even though he might not be good at making Christmas, he's amazing at making Halloween. And he realizes that, you know, I had joy in making Christmas, but other people didn't enjoy it. So now I'm going to make Halloween because I enjoy that and other people enjoy that when I do that. And I feel like we kind of learn lots of morals about Christmas in that sort of scene, because we realize that, you know, even though we may not haven't been the best this year, we haven't, you know, we made a few mistakes this year, that even though that did happen, you know, let's focus on what we're good at. Let's focus on that and let's go with it. Let's drive that through. Let's make it better than before. And I think Christmas is a huge symbolic theme of value and, you know, just importance and purpose to Jack. And I think that Christmas makes him realize all these things about himself that he would have never figured out if he didn't find Christmas. And I think people need a little Christmas to find themselves. You know, we always have that one Christmas where it's like, this is the worst Christmas ever, like my family's fighting, you know, all this stuff's going on. But that makes you realize things about yourself that you would have never seen before, and you grow as a person. And I think there's so many values to Christmas within this film. And that's why I thought it was a Christmas movie. And I could keep going on and on with examples, but I'm going to leave it at that with my opinion. So I personally thought it was a Christmas movie. But after reading some of these things that the cast members said about it, I'm kind of leaning toward a Halloween movie because it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to read you actual interviews that certain people have had. I'm only going to read 2 because I know I'm talking a lot. So on a USA Today interview with Danny Elfman, who plays Jack Skellington, who voices Jack Skellington and also voices lots and lots of other characters in this film, actually. He's amazing. He composed the music with Tim Burton. He's amazing. He's amazing. That's all I'm going to say. So they asked him the question, so just to clear up the debate online, is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween and Christmas movie? And Danny Elfman responded, it's obviously about Christmas, but for me, it's a Halloween movie. Growing up, Halloween was my favorite night of the year, and Christmas was a troublesome time. Into my adult years, it was a time where a bit of dark cloud would follow me around, probably carrying over from my childhood until I had my own kids, and then I developed a new, brighter view of Christmas. I also felt close to Jack Skellington's plight because I knew what it was like to be the king of my own little world and to want out of that world and want something else. So I felt very close to the holiday of Halloween, but also very close to Jack and what he was going through. So basically he says it's a Halloween movie, but the way he says it, it's all up to interpretation, right? He says, like, it's obviously about Christmas, but for me, it's a Halloween movie. So he's kind of saying that even though it's a Halloween movie for him, it can mean something else to a completely different person. Like, I completely think it's a Christmas movie because of the value I put into Christmas, and I love Halloween, don't get me wrong. And I loved the Halloween scenes that they showed in this movie. But I do think that the morals and values from this movie are mostly taken away from the Christmas part. And I think, as I've said before in a lot of my other videos, movies are up to viewers' interpretation. You know, many people can get completely different things out of different movies and what they say, you know, dialogue and what happens and all these actions that these people go through. Everyone has a different interpretation of it. So as I said before earlier in this video, you may think it's a Christmas movie, you may think it's a Halloween movie. They're both right. It's completely up into interpretation on how you want to take it. And that's the beauty, especially of this movie, is that you can watch this movie on Halloween, you can watch it on Christmas. I mean, I watch it in the spring and the fall. I watch it absolutely whenever. But this movie, if you're one of those people who, you know, can't watch a Christmas movie in, you know, the summer, like, this is one of those movies that's so special that it encaptures two beautiful holidays that are worldwide and amazing, and everybody knows of them, right? And I think that's so beautiful what he says. And even though he connected to Jack in, you know, a very hard and deep way, I think he really portrays this beautiful connection with the audience. And, you know, from his perspective, I can see why he thinks it's a Halloween movie. So it's really up to how you want to view it, how others view it. So I'm going to read one more. This is from Henry Selick. I believe he is one of the film directors. He's also amazing. I love this guy. So I believe, so a little girl asked him in the crowd, is this a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie? And he was all for Team Halloween. He said, after the question was asked, Selick looked a little surprised, and he said, oh boy, likely knowing that whatever answer he gave would be controversial. As I said before, this is why I don't really love doing debates, because it is really controversial, but I'm gonna keep going. It's a Halloween movie, he said, definitely. He acknowledged that a lot of people like the Christmas Town stuff way better than the Halloween Town. They love Santa, and he's all powerful, he said. But he had to tell the truth. This is a movie about Halloween and the people of Halloween and how they react to something like Christmas. And that quote specifically got me thinking that it was automatically Halloween, because the last thing he says, how they react to something like Christmas, that makes sense, because you take these creatures from Halloween Town and you put them in an environment where they have to adapt to not scary, spooky things and creepy things, which they think are like terrific. You know, when they use the word spooky, they think it's like awesome or something like that. And when they think of it, you know, when they have to be in a Christmas environment where it's all, you know, like joyful, happy, you know, peaceful, they're like, oh my goodness. And how they react to Christmas is completely different than what Christmas actually is. And that's where I see it from the Halloween standpoint. Like, these creatures are adapting to what Jack wants them to do, and this is involving a whole new set of rules, a whole new set of ideals that Christmas is about. I mean, Halloween ideals and Christmas ideals are completely different, and it's so crazy. And maybe you think they're similar. I don't want to assume anything, but to me, they're very, very different. And I think that's also another beauty of the film, is that these two holidays clash with each other, but in this movie they mix beautifully. You know, these creatures try to do something amazing for, you know, millions and millions of kids around the world, and even though they kind of mess it up, they make up for it. You know, they had good at heart with it, and then, you know, they tried to make everybody happy. They weren't trying to ruin people's Christmas. That wasn't the objective. And the way the music also flows with the clashing holidays just makes it so beautiful. And I love this film so much, and this is one of the main reasons why. It's just, I love Halloween and I love Christmas for their own separate, very different ideals and their different ways. But the thing is, this film encaptures how Halloween and Christmas are so very different, but beautiful together. And, you know, although this is a debate, I'm gonna say right now, I think it's both. I think this film encaptures Halloween, everything about Halloween, the beauty of Halloween, the, you know, just everything about Halloween. And I also think it captures Christmas just as amazingly. I think they're both well explained and they're both well thought out, and I think it's just beautiful. And, you know, if you think it's a Halloween movie, awesome. If you think it's a Christmas movie, awesome. And, you know, it doesn't matter who wins the debate. It's a win-win situation. You know, I think both are just so beautiful, and, you know, I really hope you guys really enjoy this film. I love this film so, so much. And, you know, even though it is titled The Nightmare Before Christmas, and that might make you think it's definitely a Christmas movie, think about how it's a Halloween movie. Think about the setting of Halloween and what Jack really goes through and what all these people have to adapt to, you know, be with Christmas. And if you think it's a Halloween movie, think about how it's a little bit involved with Christmas. Think about the Christmas morals that are talked about within the film, and think about how Christmas is a really important part of this film as well. So no matter what side you're on, look at the opposite side and think about it. And, you know, if you feel like they're both, I'm with you. If you feel like it's just Halloween, stick with that. If you think it's just Christmas, stick with it too. I really feel bad that I don't have like a definite, you know, answer for this debate. I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, I'm so indecisive, I can't decide. But really, this is a beautiful film that captures both sides. And I think that this debate shouldn't be settled, because this movie is really old, and I know a lot of younger generations have never watched this movie and never been exposed to this movie, when I think it has so many important values and so many important things going on within the film that I think it's good to keep this debate unsettled, so this can keep happening, where we can keep having this debate every year we're gonna have this debate. We can just always talk about it, because this is an important film and with amazing people throughout the entire thing. Danny Elfman, Henry Selick, all these beautiful people who put their time, a lot of time, because it's claymation, as I said in my other video, into this beautiful film. And thank you guys for taking part in the debate. Thank you for, you know, just listening to this video and understanding both perspectives. Always be open-minded with this debate, because it's a beautiful film. Keep watching this film if you want to really settle the debate. But again, I hope all of you have a great day and have a nightmare of a Christmas. I'm just kidding. Also, because it's Halloween, well, not really, but, you know, once it hits October, I think it's Halloween. I hope all of you have a super happy early Halloween on this October 4th. So enjoy your day. Carve a pumpkin. I carved Jack Skellington pumpkin. Again, go follow my Instagram, Disney101_Lauren Lindberg, if you want to go check out my Jack Skellington pumpkin. So thank you. Have a nice day, guys.